Hello everyone, Tim here. In this video, I'm going to be going over my Rad 9 TV edition. I love TV, and I figured it deserved its own episode of this. My friends over in the Rad Pack, which is Born to be Rad, Garrett, Movie Watch Daily, Justin, and My Killer Podcast, Mel, those three wonderful people have put together the Rad 9, which is supposed to be the 9 movies/shows that made you who you are for horror. They scared you, they stuck with you, and I'm going to be doing TV solo in this one. I didn't outright grow up with horror. Gosh, I've mentioned that so many times. So where I got introduced to horror more from the get-go was TV. TV is a huge part of our collection in general. I have so many TV shows. I love TV shows. And it is a major influence for horror. And one of the first ones that sticks out in my mind that is my number one entry into the Rad 9 TV edition here is the Twilight Zone.
This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
So for my number one entry, I'm diving into the original OG Twilight Zone, the absolute classic. This is what so many other shows are built off of. This show is so important. Every episode, you got horror/sci-fi pretty much throughout the entire show, and every episode had a theme that hit pretty hard. You got stuff like paranoia dealing heavily with it, with the monsters are due on Maple Street, where everyone thinks UFOs are coming, and it's how do people process that and handle it.
Look, I swear it isn't me. I swear it isn't. I know who it is. I know who the monster is. I know who it is that doesn't belong among us. I swear I know who it is.
All right, Charlie, let's hear it.
It's...
What are you waiting for?
Well, come on, Charlie, come on.
Who is it, Charlie? Tell us. It's a kid. It's Tommy. He's the one.
Fantastic episode. You have more paranoia with Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with a gremlin on the wing of the plane. This show has dealt with so much. Well before Chucky, before Annabelle, there was Talkie Tina, which was a haunted type doll that was, I think, more terrifying than Chucky or Annabelle, to be honest.
My name is Talkie Tina, and I'm beginning to hate you.
My name is Eric Strader, and I'm going to get rid of you.
You wouldn't dare.
Huh? Wouldn't I?
Annabelle would hate you, Christy would hate you, and I would hate you.
So yeah, Twilight Zone is one that has always stuck with me, always will stick with me. I have loved many incarnations of this show. It has come and went over and over and over again. But the best is easily the original. But it's not the only good version. I actually love them all in different ways. But this is the 2001 version, which is going to be my next entry for my Rad 9 TV edition, because I have really fond memories of certain particular episodes on this that were freaky as hell. Man, so there's an episode in here where it is troubled kids are sent away. The whole family pretty much signs away everything they have to go live in this perfect utopian society type place where everything is great on the outside until this troubled teen starts kind of diving into it a little bit more and finding out this place is not what it seems. And when you find out that these kids are basically, this is their last chance, and if they keep acting out, this place deals with them, and the way that it deals with them and how the family is just okay with it is crazy. That episode really sticks out in my mind. This is a really great version in general. It only lasted the one season. Absolutely killer stars in this, though. Guest stars. You don't see this version out very much. This one went out of print. You don't see it often. I highly recommend it, though. If you like Twilight Zone, you like anthology shows, this is narrated by Forrest Whitaker is the host. It's great. It is great. No one talks about this version, really, but highly recommended, and it is my number 2 choice on my Rad 9 TV edition. Next up, we're going to be diving into the Nickelodeon side. And you're thinking, Nickelodeon? Horror? What? Of course, because I'm talking Are You Afraid of the Dark? Man, I can't tell you, right when you saw that campfire and tossing that sand into the fire, you knew you were in for a heck of a treat back when you were younger. That show hit me at just the right time. I really wish it had a DVD or Blu-ray set here. This is from that reboot of it, which was solid, but I'm talking the original OG, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I loved that show, but man, did it scare the shit out of me as a kid. It really did. It hit at just the right time. What was it? This was a relatively early 90s that I wasn't even 10 at the time when the show was running. And there were some pretty frightening episodes on that show at the time. An episode I'll always remember is there's this episode, Tale of the Pinball Wizard, where in the end, a kid ends up getting trapped in a pinball machine. And what makes it cool, what makes Are You Afraid of the Dark cool, is it went for the downer endings. So it went at the same time as Goosebumps, which we'll be getting to. But it went at the same time as Goosebumps. And Goosebumps was relatively, things end up for the better for the most part. And Are You Afraid of the Dark was a little bit more okay with things didn't work out for the kids at all the times. I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark, but again, it scared the shit out of me with specific episodes, so it had to be on here. Next up for my number 4 entry is none other than Goosebumps. Look at this pretty stack of Goosebumps books here, guys. Goosebumps is a big part of just middle school and elementary, reading these books. Every kid my age loved Goosebumps. And the show was freaking great. It was really freaking good. Oh my god. The shocker on Shock Street. All of these books, not all, but most of these became episodes, and they were so good. Vampire Breath. Oh, the Horrorwood is so great. Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Oh my god. Now it's just gushing over the books. But the show was so good. Oh my god. Egg Monsters from Mars. Yeah. Oh, there we go. The Haunted Mask, one of the most classic, memorable episodes and books. The new show is actually pretty freaking good too, I'll be honest. The movie was actually pretty good, but that original OG show, guys, it was a staple. Kids would talk about the newest episodes in school. They were scary, funny, memorable. That show just hit just perfectly. Now we're at number 5 on my Rad 9 TV edition. And it's another one I don't have a physical for because it doesn't exist, which is, man, that's a bummer. We need complete Are You Afraid of the Dark, complete Goosebumps, and we need complete So Weird. Yes, that's right. Who remembers the Disney Channel show So Weird? Because I sure as heck do. It was another type of, not anthology, it followed the same family, but this girl keeps running into just weird phenomenon type stuff, essentially an X-Files for kids, if you will. I guess that's the best way to put it, is an X-Files for kids. It was a really cool show. It had freaky moments, funny moments. I loved that one. So now for number 6, we had X-Files for kids, basically, at number 5. How about actual X-Files, because this is one that definitely played in my house every single week. And not all episodes are scary, but the ones that are, damn, they really are. There is some freaky shit in some of these episodes. This show did such a great job at straddling the horror and mystery and comedy and action all together. It was such an intriguing show. Did every season hit? No. But there are so many memorable episodes, so many great guest stars. You had Jack Black super early in his career shooting electricity out of himself. There are some super memorable episodes, and this show always will stick with me. Always will be very memorable. It's not scary anymore, but it was as a kid. So next up, number 7, we have another one from the early 90s with Erie, Indiana. You either remember this well or you've never heard of it. This show is it's not like Twin Peaks, but in the sense that Twin Peaks is a very weird show about a weird town that weird stuff happens. This is about the town of Erie, Indiana, and weird stuff happens, and the main kid is pretty much following along, documenting it, and just, it's a crazy, weird show that no one remembers at all. Heck, I need to return to it, but I remember as a kid, this show really being something. So, I'm gonna have to return to this soon. I picked this up for, I don't know, I spent a decent amount on it because I was like, shit, I gotta go back to that show. Oh my god, look at that. Is this back with the thin cases? This is an old release, but yes, Erie, Indiana, very cool. If you find this out in the wild, it's pretty rare. I'd say grab it. Number 8. So, I didn't always have HBO in the house. Sometimes we had HBO. Sometimes we didn't. We did have it, though, for at least a chunk of the show. Because I wasn't really... I don't know if I wasn't allowed or I just didn't watch it at the time. But my parents recorded episodes on VHS, which is how I caught some of them. But Tales from the Crypt. It was probably that they recorded it and I wasn't allowed at the time, because this show gets crazy graphic at certain points, and this show, I was way too young for some of these episodes of this show. So I think it's that I just watched some of the recorded tapes of it, to be honest. But there are some memorable shows, like pissing off the lumberjacks and then getting put into the freaking tree trunk and getting cut. I don't remember the rest of the synopsis, but like that part sticks in my mind. Or a surprise party that is planned out that the person doesn't know is a surprise party, and he kills people along the way thinking it's all real. The episode with Demi Moore where she ends up thinking she's gonna win the lottery, so she marries this fat slob of a man, and it's really her destiny to die by his hand. It's such crazy stuff happened in this show. It's so memorable. There's an episode directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger about a guy selling off his younger parts of his body to an older man until he's basically an older man himself. Absolutely bonkers episodes. Such a great show. Desperately can use a nice new remaster on Blu-ray. These episodes look pretty rough. They're on DVD, but they look rough. So I would love to see this get some nice treatment, because this sucker would sell freaking well. It'd sell really well. But we don't have it. I'm just happy to own this at least. Great show. Last but not least, number 9 is not the scariest. Not even remotely the scariest. But it sticks with me because there was freaky episodes, and I adore this show so much. And that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I couldn't make a list like this and not include Buffy. That would be wrong of me on so many levels, because that wouldn't be me. This show, overall, it's very fun, and it takes things at a lighthearted approach, but there's some freaky episodes, like an episode called The Gentleman, about these people that rob everyone of their voices so that they could go cut the hearts out of teens and no one hear their screams. Like, there are episodes like that sprinkled throughout the show that are freaky as hell. and then a lot of other episodes that are just cheesy fun. But I love this whole show, start to finish. I couldn't make an episode about scary, monstery type stuff and not mention Buffy. That would be so wrong. I mean, I love Buffy enough that I have like a wall of signatures of them, and I plan to get everybody because I adore. I mean, we're talking, this is my favorite show of all time, is Buffy. So there we have it, guys. That is my Rad 9 TV edition, and I'm happy that they put this challenge out there. Rad Pack, you guys are awesome. Thanks for putting this out there. Thanks for bearing with a TV one, because I know we're all about movies, but TV shows are great too, and they deserved love, and these 9 shows hit hard for me, mostly as a kid, but I still love all of these. So thank you so much for watching. Check out all the other great Rad 9 videos that have been put out already, and I will see you in the next one.